everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
I already got one of those.
So today I am here to review the final film that I have seen in theaters in 2018, and that, of course, is the newest addition to the troubled, yet, for me, very hopeful DCEU cinematic universe, and that, of course, is James Wan's directed Aquaman, starring Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Nicole Kidman, Timo Morrison, Patrick Wilson, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Dolph Lundgren, and Willem Dafoe. So, I think we all can agree where each and every one of us stand in terms of all of these DC films that have come since Man of Steel dropped. Some of us love them, some of us hate them, and some of us are still somewhat in between. But I have been enjoying each and every one of these DCEU films for better or for worse. So of course, knowing that Aquaman was going to finally get his very first live-action film, I was very excited. And I knew for a solid fact that there was going to be something truly special about this film. I mean, Wonder Woman was definitely one of the better films that have come out in terms of comic book movies in the last couple of years, and with Marvel pretty much reigning supreme, I was hoping that there would be a DC film that would come out to maybe let them know that this franchise is, while troubled, definitely not dead. And let me tell you guys, Aquaman has made a statement. The DCEU, regardless of where it's going, is alive and well. This film was, without a doubt, one of the best comic book films that has come out this year. It is definitely, at least in my eyes, DC's equivalent to Black Panther, and I think it's better. Yep, throw your comments down there if you want to come at me, but I seriously feel that this is, besides Avengers Infinity War, one of the best of the year. This movie is only summed up in one word. It is epic. There is everything. Grand landscapes, beautiful special effects, fantastic action sequences. Everything is over the top and in your face, and my God, it is all glorious. I enjoyed seeing this movie because even though Aquaman was a character in the world of comics that I knew about ever since I was a little boy, thanks to the Hanna-Barbera Super Friends show, he was still a character that I didn't know too much about because I didn't read all of his comic books. But one of the few things that I will say is, while everyone was dumping on him, saying that he was such a lame superhero, even after Bruce Timm gave us a very strong animated Aquaman character, I have always been on his side. I have always known that he was one of the better ones. I mean, for crying out loud, he can breathe underwater. He can communicate with sea life. He has impenetrable skin on the surface world. And of course, he's a king. How could he possibly be a weak superhero? And now that we have Jason Momoa practically enveloping this live-action Aquaman, he is never going to be looked at as the joke of the DC world again. Now, granted, this movie, while it is very action-packed, it has great drama, but it also has a great deal of beautifully placed over-the-top comedy. I really enjoyed the banter between Aquaman and Mera. I absolutely loved some of the things that he was saying just for the sake of being Jason Momoa, but he still was Aquaman to me because when he had to be serious, he was serious. When he had to be silly, he was silly. When he was dramatic, when he was romantic, he definitely gave us his all in this film. I know the controversy around Amber Heard is crazy, but I really enjoyed her as Mera. I loved the fact that Timo Morrison from Attack of the Clones was in this film for the small role that he had. He was very, very good, as was Nicole Kidman. Patrick Wilson and Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Orm, aka Ocean Master, and Black Manta, without a doubt, were my two favorites outside of Aquaman, because not only did they give us a great origin story of Aquaman, they gave us some really great depth and backstory of Orm and Black Manta, and I absolutely loved what they did with these characters, because even though we all know that Black Manta is Aquaman's arch nemesis, knowing his backstory, we really got a little bit of a feel for him and we understand his intentions. Very similar to Vulture, played by Michael Keaton in Spider-Man Homecoming. But when those action sequences hit you, they just blow you out of the water. And yes, I will throw that pun in for comedic effect. Also, the score by Rupert Gregson Williams is to die for. It is one of the most powerful powerful scores that I have heard, and I think he puts Hans Zimmer to shame with the last scores that he did for the DCEU. Oh man, if there are some more great movies like this in the DCEU, I would love to see Williams score them all, because wow, did he fill those shoes, and he filled them brilliantly. Also, one of the few things that I absolutely loved in this movie was how everything was paced very well. Even though I would probably say that the only weakness of this movie is that I feel that it dragged just a teensy bit. Everything in this movie was great, everything was entertaining, and I found myself just loving this movie from beginning to end. And don't forget, there is a mid-credit scene. It definitely leads to a Aquaman sequel, and I also am very excited to who the nemesis will be in that film. But the only thing that I am very upset about and somewhat worried about right now is with the success that Aquaman is having right now in the box office, where does that leave this DC universe? Because we know that this universe has been wrapped in controversy ever since Batman v Superman hit theaters, and with all of the shakeups and the changes that have happened now, I really have no idea where this universe is going to go. And for all I know, because of all of these crazy shakeups and changes, after a powerful two films like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and with such extreme hype for Shazam and the sequel to Wonder Woman, there are some projects that are coming that I don't have any interest in. I have no idea what they're going to do in terms of filling the shoes of Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. Now that they are gone, apparently, I don't know what's going to happen to the solo Batman movie. I'm just so worried. And with the success that Aquaman has had, there is definitely a new rebirth for this universe, but now it's really up to the studio to make some very important decisions on what they need to do to keep this momentum going, because it is alive now. Thanks to Aquaman, the DCEU is very much capable of continuing on and giving us more great DC movies, because, listen guys, it's been 10 years since Marvel started making this amazing lineage of films, and DC, while it had always been ahead of Marvel, is now officially in the dust. And now they have the opportunity to take back that mantle as the better franchise of comic book films, but I have no idea what's going to happen, so I'm somewhat skeptical. But I will say, Aquaman is amazing. It's one of the best films that I have seen in theaters. It is so worthy of the big screen. I do want to see this movie again. I do want to get this movie on DVD, and I want to see Jason Momoa play Aquaman in movies so much more. I am giving Aquaman, even with its imperfections, a very strong 3.5 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below. Thank goodness this movie was great. So in the meantime, everybody, I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.